Hey, hello everyone, how are we doing? Can you hear me? Sound good? May have some teething issues, teething problems today. We're in a new office, new stream room, kind of new setup. So yeah, bear with me if there's any issues. Yeah, Richard, if we are currently looking into why people aren't getting Bestie if they got the season pass. And we'll try and keep you posted. Josh, we are working on that. Also working to kind of bring more companies in. See what we can do. Hopefully we'll have some good news about that soon. Alright, so today we're here for the Jezioro Bestii launch. Went out this morning on PlayStation Europe, Xbox PC, and is now also out on PlayStation America. So it's an 18-acre venue. It's set in the Polish mountains. It's well known for large catfish, large pike, and trophy-sized zander. Ooh, that's a difficult one to say. Trophy-sized zander. And yeah, so we'll jump into some gameplay shortly. In-game. Something else that's new, we have a webcam that we actually use now. So here's my face, I'm Steven. You know my voice, not my face probably. Yeah, we thought we'd see how this goes while I'm making some small changes to stuff. But yeah. I'll use that excuse. It's always a good excuse. It's the new environment that I'm not used to. So at the moment it's just me. I will have Des joining me shortly. Okay, we are in the game. Yes. Single player. So some of you that if you watch regularly would be surprised to see that I've actually got equipment suitable for the venue. Ignore that my profile's changed a little bit. Good morning. We're actually using dynamic weather because I've remembered. Anarchy, we are investigating. We're working with Sony to get that resolved. It looks like I'm looking away from everything because the chat's over here. The gameplay is over here. And the webcam's in the middle. Alright, let's go over here. So, yeah, we'll start here. So, it's in the mountains. Beautiful setting. Massive mountains. And yeah, just looking around the lake a little bit. I may have selected the wrong. There we go. Got the right one. I remember the weather, yes. Des has said he's going to change that for me to make it easier for me. It's got this nice little bridge with the stream running into the lake. And we'll get set up on that peg over there. Everyone hear me okay? How is the microphone? Ooh. Look away to the chat, walk into a bit of fencing. Oh. So I am on a new profile today because I kind of broke something. just need to do something. There we go. Now we can see all the chats. Hello, War Eagle. A little quiet. Okay, just a little bit closer. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. Sound visuals all good. Cool. This is a lot more difficult to keep up with when it's one person. Anyway, we should have Des soon. Did I actually change that setup? Yes. Not this one. There's the one. Oh, he didn't give it to me then. Spectrum. We'll go with Spectrum for a bit. Anyway, let's cast out the rods. A few big pike already, nice. Let's see what we can do. And remember, if there's no fish, we blame the office. Let's probably put sound on. Oh, we already got a bite. Hello, Kino. Hello, Chase Plays. Thank you, Freddie. Des is just joining.
Does it spill into everywhere?
Yeah. Don't mess up the nice new stream room already. We've established already that if we don't catch fish, we can use the new office and the new room as an excuse.
Bad luck. No, we'll be fine.
And Des has arrived.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? What have you got on?
Something big.
What bait are you using?
This one's the pop-up. The tiger nuts.
Hi.
Potts says hi.
Hi, Potts. Hey, the Badger's here. Hi, Badger. Greetings, Rally. I think we got a catfish on here.
We might have.
I don't think that's swimming like a carp.
No. Yeah, it's a cat. That vibration is really making a difference now.
I really like the new vibration.
Yeah. So, yeah, last week was... because we've not seen you for 2 weeks now. Last week we had the bass fighting update. How's everyone been finding that? It did include... control of vibration while you're fighting, that kind of mirrors the tension in the line.
What I like about that is that, if I can play now and turn all the HUD off with the settings that we added in the previous update, and I can actually feel when the tension is at the top of the tension bar, so I know when to release off the reeling. So yeah, and it just feels like it comes alive. No, feels like you're fighting a fish on the end of the line. It's really good. And
the rod resistance changes before as well. Like the vibration, but batteries hate it. That is a slight downside.
So there is obviously the slider in there for it, so you can turn it down if you need to. Always best to use rechargeables, of course, so you're not burning through that cash. You can't buy batteries with tackle points. Not yet, anyway.
I'm just used to using wired.
It's not bad. It's not a bad catfish you got there.
Good start.
Is this first fish?
Yes. I was kind of still getting my bearings, and when I put the headset on, I actually had a alarm going off. Okay, good start.
I had to demo to the company today, and I caught a £53 catfish in that demo actually. So
that was
we go.
True. That was convenient timing on that. Okay, no need to be.
Right. What's the cloud cover saying, Stephen? Have we gone in dynamic settings today?
Yes.
You remembered?
They can back me up.
Did he definitely? Cool.
Badger's comments gone that said I actually remembered. I did say to them that you're putting that option as default just for my benefit.
Hi Josh. Hope you're cool. There we go. The blue. Did we fit the blue? No, but the bass fin.
On the largemouth is.
So one of them's a little bit blue. We did. I believe it did get tweaked down, but there's still a tinge of blue in there. There's another cat.
Oh, go on, friend.
That's not that one you just put back, is it?
I don't think so. There's two of them.
What lure we got on?
Spectrum.
So the cats do take lures now, so...
It's possible. I'm not looking forward to fighting one of them now, though, now that I've put the £20 and not the £50 line on.
Did I say the Spectrum was good for this?
You said Spectrum was clear and rainy.
Clear or rainy, yeah.
Go on, friend.
Yes, Demented Squirrel. The multiplayer is available in this.
Can I fish from further?
It will appear in the Fishing League at some point. I haven't
We need a peg like
set the specific week when that event's going to happen. But need the peg where?
Just on the other side of the bridge, where it's just down here.
I quite like this peg. You get a nice vista.
Get a nice view. You got the little bridge in the stream. We need to get that door fixed.
Is the door banging coming through on the stream?
We're about to see.
Do I need to put a keep quiet sign outside?
That can be the temporary. That's what we like to hear.
No problem, Cougar. The updates are going to keep coming and coming. So, yeah, no worries on that. We've been working on another one. Well, trying to get another one through into Sony and Microsoft today. That's going to be the one that focuses on fixing a few issues with the multiplayer. So hope to get that one out to you guys as soon as possible. As soon as we have a date for release for that, we'll let you know. And while we've been doing that one in QA, we've also been working on the next update to come after that. So lots of stuff to come. Some exciting stuff as well.
What do you reckon, Des? It's a bit cloudy.
Try the echo.
Echo.
Let's see if we can get a little bit of dive on it. Could do with a nice zander out, I think.
I'll try
nice zander or one of these beast pike that are in here. Can the community hear the game audio? Do we know this?
For some reason, no. I can't remember what I did last time, but technical difficulties.
So, Mr. Mitch Rapp. So the cloud cover makes a difference to the colour of the which lures are most effective.
They should have sound now. Seems odd catching cats with lures, not boilies.
No game audio. So if it's Mr. Mitch, if it's clear skies, you want to be using the shiny metallic lures, and then you want to vary it up. If it's rainy, you might want to be using the crawfish or cloudy. I think the crawfish is still quite effective. What lure did you put on?
The red crawfish echo.
Okay, let's try a different one. Let's go with the. Should we go with the fire tiger?
Let's give it a go.
Right. Mitch says that makes sense. He's a case of beer and some worms kind of fisher.
Nice.
So, we've tried to, mimic what anglers do in real life with the different coloured lures. So, if you read online for guides of what colours people use to fish in different weather conditions, those are the sort of rules that we've sort of applied to the game as well. So, any knowledge that you've got outside of the, in the real world will help you in the game. So Demented is asking if there's different types of fishing. So what we've got, we haven't got sea fishing. There is night fishing, and you can do lure fishing, so fishing for predatory species. You can do static bait fishing, which you do for your carp or your coarse fishing. You can also do float fishing. At the moment, those are the sort of three types of three techniques that we've got in the game at the moment. Oh, yes, I can see a koi fish down there. Koi carp. So Rally's asking about the dynamic time of day. Now, I touched on this a couple of weeks ago when I was on the stream previous. Oh, we got a fish on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little perch.
That was such a tease. There's a big catfish right next to it.
Yeah, I was getting a pike following me, and then got a take, and then it was the perch. So yes, back to Rally's question about dynamic time of day. So the reason we don't have it in this game at the moment is because we've moved to a baked lighting solution. Now what that means is that the shadows themselves are baked into the textures, and this means that we haven't got to constantly calculate the sun moving and then the shadows moving across the entire lake. Now this saves us a hell of a lot of processing on which allows us to do other things with that processing. So it allows us to do much more cool stuff.
Oh, we got something.
You've got a rod alarm going off. Now, it's something, it was a nice feature. That it was cool that it did change. So in order to do it in Fishing Sim World, we would have to hide the change of time of day between behind either a menu screen, or it would fade to black and then it would fade up again. But it is something I'm considering trying to do in the future. Or at least maybe we can add a option in the options menu to skip to the next time of day or something, like have a as if you were having a sleep.
Should make it so you do it in the bivvy. Job done.
You're always fishing with your rod right up in here, aren't you? Love it. So, Mitch is also asking if the lines get crossed in this game. Now, we considered it, but one of the things we like to do one of the sort of things we do in this game is we try and concentrate on the things that are fun about fishing, and we try and not sort of feature the things which are actually slightly annoying in real fishing. So, your lines won't get tangled up, and you won't spike your fish finger with a hook. you won't get caught. Like you aren't losing lures all the time. You don't have to press a button to put a bait back on once you've caught a fish. You haven't got to press a button to rebait it. It's just automatically happens. So we try and sort of keep you to the fun parts as much as possible and minimise anything that's sort of more of a chore. Because yes, it's a simulation game, but it is also a game, and we want to maximise the fun you have with it, because people's lives are busy.
From Philly bass, that is a lot of time put into a new fighter, but you like it now. It's good. It just requires a bit of getting used to.
That's good to hear, Philly bass. We will have yes. Maybe I'll talk some more about upcoming bass stuff a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll do a bit of a kind of bass coverage later on. Richard Bremen, I think that was a carp. Words. Bremen Reality, I think, up to 16 or 14 pounds.
I can't think off the top of my head.
I remember.
But you're all on the internet. You can have a look. I can't do that right now. I should have brought my laptop.
Yeah.
Oh.
No fish slime either.
No fish slime. No smell of fish.
Bass throwing the hook be like real life. Yeah, we're trying to the changes we're making to try and kind of emulate that of they're just trying to throw the hook. They're not necessarily snapping your line, but they are just throwing the hook, and you're out of luck and you feel bad. It's a big old pike.
So what actually happens with what's happening with the tension as the tension either hits the top or the bottom? There's a certain thing called hook quality, and if you have if you're down with no tension, it's going to reduce the hook quality, so the fish is trying to free the hook then. Or if it's up too high, the hook that's in the fish's mouth is going to be sort of making the hole bigger that's in the fish's mouth. And so if you imagine that is then making more space for the hook to come out again. So the more that happens, and depending on the quality of the hook setting, you've got less to play with. So do always obviously try to get that perfect hook set down. But yeah, so it's not necessarily the snapping of the line. That will more happen with if you're using the wrong tackle, too light a line for the sort of fish that you're fighting. But not more often than not, if you've got the right line on, it's going to be the fish has managed to throw the hook out by getting slack on the line or being too high on the tension for a bit too much.
I did see something. Mitch, we're playing on PC but using the controller.
So yeah, Stephen's got an Xbox controller plugged in at the moment. Yeah. So I would love to.
Oh no, I've run it over. I can't show you. I've run it over.
On Mixer, they're talking about whether we could have a fishing rod controller. I would love that.
That'd be a lot of fun.
If you know any Chinese factories that are making them, then let me know, because I would love to do that. That would be good. You got a pike on?
It's the same a big one.
This is without a fire tiger, isn't it?
Yes. I do like that I can kind of use the vibrations to know when to change things and look away at the chat at the same time.
It's helped you, hasn't it, on the old streaming? Josh, what are you asking there about? Be no boat? Know the boat? When will... Is that about... Are you asking about Evinrude be on the boat? Yeah, you better... if you could re-ask that question, Josh, I'll see if I can get an answer. I can answer that for you. Here we go, he's caught it. He's landed it.
Run over the controller and here's the controller. So, yeah.
You got to love a nice pike.
Level 3 already.
Got your PB.
I told them I broke something, so I'd start again.
So I believe, so Josh, there should, if you talk about the Evinrude engines, there'll be some more news, I think later in the week or early next week regarding that. So Philly Bass is asking about the Santa suit. So we got a Christmas. We're getting festive. We got the Christmas Santa T-shirt and hat coming. Now that will be coming. There will be an update in the next few days. I hope that fixes the multiplayer issue. And once that has been released, I will be able to let the entitlements go that are in the queue at the moment from last week's fishing league. So everyone who's taken part in any of the events last week should get the Santa suit. I was hoping we're going to be able to give it Monday. Wasn't able to do that, so I apologise for that. But I assure you, we will get them to you. Plenty of time before Christmas. Still lots of shopping days left. He's got another fish on.
Just banking on some next day delivery to get all my Christmas shopping sorted.
This is good. I don't have to. He's never normally this good. Must be all that kit I made him buy, right? Made him spend his tackle points. Get some of this kit.
This looks like a carp of some sort.
Was it a ghost?
I think it may be. That door needs to calm down.
The door's going to go crazy when everyone starts leaving the office.
Yeah.
So I'm sat over here, everyone's just seeing the side of my head as I'm trying to read the questions coming in. Nice fish.
£17 ghost. That's one of the first ones I've caught in. I haven't caught many ghosties in Sim World.
Shall I prop the door open?
I don't know, you might complain if we do that.
So, what baits you got on? You've got pop-up tiger nuts. Have we got on?
Tiger, SCB, and the fire tiger.
And what did you just catch that one on? You caught that on the SCB, didn't you? Rod 2?
Yeah.
There we go. So the change that came out with the bass fighting the other week, 2 weeks ago?
Bass fighting was last week.
Was it last Tuesday?
Yes.
Now that change also introduced a change to some of the coarse baits as well. Now the smaller coarse baits like the bread, the sweet corn, the bloodworm, you've got a much less chance now with those of catching the bigger carp. So those going to be your sort of go-to baits if you're focusing, you want to catch the smaller fish. Maybe you're playing in the match events, or maybe you've got some trophy fish that you're trying to catch on different lakes. So you'll want to use those ones to, if you're specifically targeting those smaller silver fish, as it were. Then we've also stopped the catfish from taking those baits. Previously, catfish were in the game were taking bloodworm and bread flakes and stuff like that, and they just don't do that in real life. So we've turned that off. So the catfish will take the lures. You nearly hooked him through the tail there, Stephen. They'll take the lures, and they'll also take the larger. Oh, no. He's got him. Oh, this is going to be a battle. Who thinks he's going to land him? Do we think he's going to land? So yeah, there we go. There's a catfish with a lure. But yeah, we've tried to we've made it more realistic with that they won't take those smaller baits that they were previously taking. And if you do want those bigger carp, I would recommend the 15 mil, the 18 mil, and the 20 mil boilies or the pop-ups. So I've been asked a lot about dead baiting in the past. That is something I am wanting to do and get into the game. We are working on a design for exactly how to implement that. So that's hopefully coming at some point next year, in the beginning part of next year. But obviously that'll be great for the catfish as well as the pike. So yeah, that's something on the horizon.
Duff Badger's relieved about the bait changes.
Cool. Thanks, Demented Squirrel. See you again.
Demented Squire.
Yeah. So that's right. Is it a squire? Or is the 7 supposed to be an L?
Ah, that's a good point.
So yeah, you can focus on those. You can focus those big cats without getting all the small fish taking you. So that is better. Especially now we got those new ones in Wild Sea to catch as well.
Up to £92 in Wild Sea now.
So we've got a few questions there on YouTube. So Anarchy Reigns is asking, when will the season pass holders be able to get this lake? Still charging $8.99 on PS4. So we think there is a small issue with that. Don't go and purchase the lake on its own if you've already bought the season pass. You will be able to purchase. You will be able to download it soon. We're currently speaking to Sony. It's a sort of entitlement issue that we believe that's needs to be fixed. Effective. So as soon as we have any more news on that, we'll let you know. But our people are basically speaking to their people right now, and have been all since late this morning, and we're trying to get that sorted for you as soon as possible. So hold tight. Hopefully that will be fixed relatively shortly, but there won't be another. It's not going to require us to do another update to the game or anything like that. It's purely an entitlement thing on the Sony server end. Got some more questions. My mum wants to know if you're a good kisser. So what's your go-to lure? What's your go-to lure for bass?
depends on the weather.
Yeah, it depends on the. I'm always it depends on the weather
Do you
for
want to take a
the.
refill of it?
No, you're doing quite good, Stephen.
I'm gonna drink quick.
Depends on the weather for the colour of the lure or the material that it's made out of, and then I would also be looking if you're bass fishing, you're out on the boat and you've got the depth finder, you're going to be looking to see whereabouts those fish are in the water. If they're probably, if it looks like they're deeper than 4 foot or so, you might want to not go with the 4 or 6 foot. You might want to not use the top waters, and you might want to go for more of a sinking lure and try and pull that across the middle of the depth range. Everyone has their own sort of favourites. A lot of people online are loving the spinner baits and the pencil baits, aren't they? I like the rattle traps. But I have got a stack of them in the office, so I do quite like playing with them.
I do.
They are cool looking things.
You got an achievement for that catfish.
Did you?
Yeah.
How big was it? I missed it. I was
65 pounds?
65.
Someone
Good.
confirm, please.
I missed the
Muskie, Gahan, both in there.
Muskie is currently work in progress. Don't know if I've announced that before, but Muskie are coming. And maybe even some tiger muskie. So that'd be good.
And see a Philly bass if you're still there. Hopefully we didn't miss you.
Covert Robin is asking if we're really playing a fishing game.
Correct.
Maybe you could have turned the HUD off and you thought we were fishing for real.
We should give that a try now that we've got even more support for fishing without the HUDs. Can you decrease the bite rate please and give option stop the bell? Guess they mean bite alarm.
The bite alarm, yeah. I've got a ticket in for that actually. So what it would do, there's a task on one of my audio engineers, and what he needs to, what we were planning to do is actually, so the bite alarm will go off, and then so to alert you that another fish is on the hook, and then it will stop going, so it won't constantly go. You'll still get the flashing light down on the bite alarm, but you won't get the constant noise to annoy you. So Conker's asking if the dead bait's in the game. It's not in the game, but like I said, it's something we would like to add, and we're currently doing the design for. Hopefully get it in early part of next year at some point. There was someone said that he loves us. It's nice, wasn't it? Someone on Mixer, I forget his name.
It's always nice. And
Sticklebacks. Daft Badger wants sticklebacks.
make it happen, Des.
Any new baits coming anytime soon from Captain Chaos 27 down on Twitch. There will be new baits coming in the game. There'll be more news on that later in the week, I believe, or early next week. But yes, we're not going to stop adding stuff to this game. It's going to keep coming and coming. So yeah, continue to let us know what you want in the game, because it's great to hear, and the more you ask for it, the more I can argue for it and request it, and get my lovely team to make it. That's a nice fish, Stephen.
Artur.
Hey, is this the first named fish of the session?
Yes.
Should we have a little
I
look?
believe so. Yes.
Should we have a little look at see what you caught so far?
Someone was asking me earlier for a little like free camera in this mode.
So
I've limited.
I've requested this as well. Camera mode where you could.
Just press the wrong button.
Oh, Steve, what have you done? Oh, it's just fine. You just press the hide the HUD.
I pressed F11, which put it in full screen, even though it was in borderless window. Yeah, interesting.
But yes, camera mode would be good. We'd really like that, and obviously we need to. We would need to add support that with an area in the game where you can view your saved pictures and stuff like that. So that's certainly something I'd love to do. But there's so much I want to do, so many things to add. It's one of the hardest parts of my job is really actually prioritising which new features we want to put in. But I can assure I've got my team out there are working hard every week, building new stuff for you guys. So yeah, it's going to keep coming and coming. So Lou wants us to decrease the bite rate. Lou BKE 73 down there on Twitch wants us to decrease the bite rate.
It's slowly going.
Some of the lakes
doing it, aren't they?
Some of the lakes have been decreased. You've got another fish on, Stephen. And there has been people asking for an option in the options menu to sort of switch between simulation and arcade, sort of more of an arcadey experience. So it's something we're considering. He's got a bin lid. He's got a bin lid. So Scuba wants to switch to just. Do you want Scuba Gaz? Do you want to just turn the bite alarms off full stop, or did you hear what I said earlier about them just going off to start with and then them stopping naturally on their own? Would that satisfy you, or do you actually would you still want the option of turning it off completely?
Decent size room.
So Conker is asking me about, is there any way I can play this lake without buying it, like in the Dovetail Leagues? It will be coming in the Dovetail League at some point. I haven't got an exact date for when that is, but it will be coming. Possibly, as long as the update goes out that I need to go out, it will. I'm going to try and do that over the Christmas week, but I can't promise. I can't promise and say for certain it's going to happen, but that is my intention to hopefully allow this lake and Lake Williams to be playable over Christmas for those that haven't bought them. Obviously, you won't have practiced as much as the other players on those lakes, so you won't be. So you might not quite have your hotspots nailed, but you will be able to have a taste of them. So Scuba still wants the option. Okay. Big Timer is back. Big Timer J. Hello again.
We have faces now, not just voices.
Is it weird? Is it weird seeing our faces? We're in a new office this week. Stephen's probably told you, but we had a big office move. So we got a new room to do it in. It's rather bare at the moment. In the back behind me, but it will get cosier. And it's a much better office. It's nice. It's more space. We were a bit crammed in the other place. We kind of expanded. We were sitting on each other's laps to do the work. So
maybe we weren't really. The stream setup itself, we've got a room for it now. We're not bolted onto a meeting room.
Yeah, I've actually got room for my pad and a drink and stuff. could potentially have my laptop here. I don't know.
Should get another like smaller table on the end and just roll that round. The office. We're still in Chatham Dockyard, just in a much bigger space.
Okay, Raleigh, I can see your comment there about he would like nice to have a small visual signal for all 3 rods in the left corner and the option to turn off the audio alarm. That's what people annoys them the most when I stream it for hours, the constant beeping.
Yes.
I can
Come in.
I can appreciate that. Okay. Good suggestion there, Raleigh.
Yes, can you fix this one?
You've got him. You just had to. So if you do ever get that, sometimes it feels like you might not be, the netting thing doesn't trigger in. Do kind of lift your rod and try and get him a bit closer, because sometimes there is a radius around the angler when he's like trying to net the fish, and he does have to come just within a certain range. So it might be on occasions where it feels like it's not, it's got the symbol but it's not netting it. You just got to lift the rod up a little bit more. Try and get him a little bit closer to you, and it should trigger.
The catfish always looks so happy.
The reason for that is because there's different models that are used at different distances from the player, and in order to do the calculation to tell you the exact length of the fish, it needs to be the highest level model, so it's accurate. So that's why that kind of radius is set up. I was speaking to someone just this week about whether we could increase it a bit, but in the meantime, until I can do that, you just yank it towards you a bit. Bully that fish. Ooh. So there's good ideas there on the old. On the bite alarms.
Oops, I hit the island.
I'm sorry to hear that, Fancy. Hope you're okay, Fancy Mould.
Casting that direction was doing me some good.
Hi, Trippy Trish. Hope you're cool. Get your attention up the drag. Come on, he's not paying attention. He's not paying attention to the tension.
We got. Is that a leather carp? Or is it a mirror? That one's going off too.
Can I pick it up? I know you want that. That would be good. So Josh is asking about whether we can have left-handed bait casters in. I've had a few requests for it. It's something that we could do. It's not that, but there's obviously, as I said, there's so much we want to do, and we really want to sort of add to the features and the gameplay. And obviously, if I dedicate art resource and animator resource to doing things like that, it means that new fish species or new features are further down the line. So it's, as I said before, it's one of the hardest parts of the job is that it's basically prioritising all the cool stuff we want to put into the game. So yeah.
I was just reading Darth Badger's comment.
Darth Badger does love taking a mick out of you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's a good sport. It's a good sport.
I was just reading a couple of comments. Reading Rally's comment, but I don't know. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen it reported. He's on Xbox.
Rally, is that when you're playing online or is that in single player?
How many hours on the bank doing research? I had quite a few trips out.
Not as much as I'd like, Scuba. Not as much as I'd like.
Oh no, it's going to go on.
You know that lovely summer we had? I didn't really see it. I was in here. Yeah, that was good. I did get I did get to go to Florida to learn how to bass fish. That was a lot of fun.
So
And I
that
definitely
wasn't
do that
part
again.
of our trip, which was upsetting, but
Yeah.
we had a good
That
time
was
out
good.
there.
Before little children came on the scene and stuff like that, there was a lot more time for fishing, but most of my fishing was more like was
Where did the silt bit go?
down on the River Thames, getting perch and chub and things like that.
I lost the silt bed.
It's about 20 yards in front of that island, isn't it?
That is the island.
Have you got a 13-foot rod on?
12.
Yeah, you don't need to do it that hard.
Lou, what real speed dish are you talking about?
So, Rally, are you talking about when you're the client or are you the host? And does it happen on every lake or is it just certain lakes where it happens?
I can't find the silt bed on that one.
So Trigger is asking about trout. It's high up on my list, let me tell you that. Yeah, I can't tell you when, but I can tell you that we all want trout, and we want salmon, and we want American catfish.
Yeah.
And we want the muskies. We're getting the muskies.
And
We're getting the muskies soon.
And
Yeah.
chub, barbel,
Chub and barbel.
sturgeon.
Sturgeon, yep. We've got a big list of fish that we want to add, so Rally's the host.
Sparky just used the whale. I love the new spark thingies that they did with season 2 on Mixer. Single player okay. So yeah. Sometimes I feel like you can only reel something in if you're on 5 reel speed.
I would, yeah. So the lower reel speeds more for. I would only really use those if you're trying to do lure fishing at different retrieval methods, or if you're float fishing and you want to reel in some of the slack that's on the line, or if you've got a static bait out there and you want to reel in the slack without moving the bait too much, I'd use the lower reel speeds. But when you've got a fish on, you want it on reel speed 5, so you can, if it does get slack on the line, then you can tighten that up. So Josh is wanting lots of top waters, popping frogs, adding jigs. Yeah, as I said, he's got another cat on. He's got another cat on.
Fancy Mould is hyped about the catfish. Number of boss pike in the lake. Good question. How many are there?
You stumped me there. Trippy Trish is getting upset because I'm talking to Rally, or is she talking to someone else? Is she talking to me? Who? What? Who does she want to come home? I don't know. It's getting crazy.
I need to do something now. Pause that sec. Oh no.
Can we? Yeah. Let's not do the swearing thing in the chat.
Oh no.
He didn't.
This is being weird.
So live lures. So dead bait lures are coming. Well, I'm thinking are going to be before live lures. So obviously live lures would be cool as well. It's something we want to add, but I can't tell you when. David, David there on YouTube. I've not heard of that issue before. Can you give us some more information about what platform you're playing on? Is it specific lakes? How many times have you had that? Is that a PC thing? Maybe you're playing on ultra settings, and you might want to if you're on PC, David, you might want to try lowering your graphic settings and seeing if that fixes it. I have been talking to one of my guys this week about adding in more graphics options for those of you that play on PC. So yeah, to basically give you more control over different aspects, cranking it up in certain areas or lowering it down if you want, but just a bit more fidelity over which bits you can adjust. So I've got some tasks in the backlog for that.
This is a big old catfish.
I could probably actually check on my phone. I've not got my laptop. Is it rude of me? Is it rude of me to look at my phone while we're streaming? It's Stephen's on the old. Stephen's on the controls, so I could be free. So David's on the Xbox, and I've never heard of that issue on anything like that on Xbox, David. Does it happen on every lake, or have you? And how many times has it happened?
That's another beastie.
Glad you're excited, Josh. Hope you like it. That's the beast.
Yeah.
He's caught the beast. Can you hear the? Can we hear it? Is it making the? It would have if they've got the game audio on, they'd be hearing a different sound effect for that little guy.
Oh,
that big guy.
I don't know if they would have heard it because the other rod was beeping at the time.
So
I had all my shredded wheat and Weetabix this morning.
So this lake is Jezioro Jezioro Bestii, and that it's in Poland, and the translation for that is Lake of the Beasts, and Stephen just caught Bestia, the beast of the lake, I believe.
I think it's the biggest catfish in.
I'll try and find if I can get on my drive.
Wobbly Captain, I caught a cold this week, so that part of the game. We've not added that in recently that I know of. Do you do that, Des?
Were you not wearing enough clothes when you were playing Wobbly Captain? Were you sat there just in your pants, or I would suggest, at least wearing your PJs or a nice sweater, Christmas sweater. Stop you catching a cold while playing the fishing game.
I'm wearing my one and only Christmas t-shirt today.
Is there anyone in the office that's watching us? Fancy bringing me a cup of tea? Worth a try? I don't know. Just leave the tea bag in, no sugar. It's fine. Right. Ooh.
Nice. £31.11 miracle.
Not named.
No. I was getting so many personal bests today because my profile.
Yeah.
Don't break profiles. It's not a good idea.
You switching those branches.
Yeah.
Every single.
How long have you had that issue for, David?
Yeah, can you tell us when that started, David? That would be helpful. Does it let you change your setup in the customized screen? Can you go and do that?
Too much again.
You can hold down the circle, the B button, and cancel it mid-flight.
Yeah. No, I'd probably be better doing this. No, overshot it. Never mind. Mouse and keyboard, I can do that pretty good, but not so much the keyboard. Yeah, with the controller. That silt patch that I was finding must be tiny.
Glad to hear you're liking it, Daft Badger. Fancy mould. If there's any problems, anyone's being rude, then we'll have to ban them. So don't worry, I'll try and keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Josh, there's going to be lots more lures coming. I can't confirm any brands that are coming yet, but looking to give you some news on that in the future. Right. I've got the sheet. Where is it? Come on. Come on, Google. Oh, that's not the one I want.
Sitting on my foot. Yeah, that's something.
What's Raider Nations going on about? 20%.
I don't know.
What do you want about?
Even little give sparks. Thank you. Ooh, taco.
Could do a taco right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fantasy. Oh, got a taco each.
Nice.
Being able to check your friends on the leaderboards. Yep, that is something we do want as well. I'm going to chase up about. I'm going to make a special point to chase up about that and see where that is, because that is on the list. The old friends button on the leaderboard. So do you want to let us know where you guys are or watching in from? That would be interesting to know. I'm assuming Josh is over in stateside. Was Josh with us before?
He's a regular viewer.
He's a regular. Yeah.
We've got someone on Steam.
I don't normally get to look at the old text. I'm normally playing.
Yeah.
Bit of role reversal today, Stephen.
It looks weird though, because I've got to look over that way. Because
Yeah,
you're
like-
looking
we're
that
like
way, 'cause that's
crossing
where all
the,
the chats are.
We could do the old.
Fat Cat on Steam. Do you think that they'll put power poles on the back of the bass boat soon? We're trying to work on getting a partner for that. So it's possible in future.
It's something on our list. Boat customizations in a number of areas. So as soon as I have more information to give you on that, I will do. But yeah, let us know if you would like, what sort of customizations would you like to make to your would you like to make to your boat? I've obviously got a few ideas, but it'll be interesting to see what specific things you guys are after.
Did you see Pot's response?
I can see Potts he's in his PJs. There we go. Make sure you're wrapped up warm, Potts.
What did I just see?
So we've got Alden in Pennsylvania.
Furry dice. Do they have like a rearview mirror on the boats?
Yeah, where do you hang your fairy dice when you're on a boat? I have thought about this and wasn't really too sure.
No, that was the one I was looking at weight classes for the rods. Be interesting to look into.
So a lot of the rods that we've got quite a number of real world rod manufacturers in there. We've got so we try and model the rods that out of their range as they are. So and like with the lures, there'll be more equipment coming in the future. So it's not me that does the deals with the and signs and gets these other companies on board, but got one member of the team doing that. So we're trying to get more and more partners on board. Just keep making the game better. Oh, good strike, Stephen.
Hang your fairy dice from the trolling motor. That's one idea. What was I just looking at? Loading issue started for David yesterday, which is really strange because we've not changed anything. Oh, we got Xander.
David, did you change any of your outfit yesterday or anything?
There you go. Got a Xander. Not one
Oh,
of the
there we go.
big boys
Look at
yet.
that. That's our first Xander, right?
Yep, first one of the stream.
He's a nice one.
Yeah.
Still looks quite bright. What's the...
It's clear sky.
It's cleared up, isn't it?
Spoon. Back to the spectrum. Make it work. Mixie, the troll emote is in the game now. If you go over to our website, Dovetail Live, there's an article that explains how it works. Hopefully it's useful. I wrote that and hopefully it's useful. That one looks like an eel.
So Bound Boy, yep. There's lots of big bass in the game. Not on this lake. This is a lake in Poland. Maybe if we've got time, we'll do a bit of bass. But
I can switch over in a bit.
Look at that catfish. Look at that catfish.
Is that the one that... There was a pike that looked like an eel. There it is. No, it's not. That's a catfish. Ignore me. I'm just saying words.
I hear you, Richard. Yeah, I hope that's sorted as soon as possible as well. Stephen also mans the Twitter and the Facebook site, so he will keep you updated with that when we know more information.
Yes.
David, were you playing in the fishing leagues at all? How's everyone been getting on with the fishing league? Any winners on there last week? Any high scores, high positions?
They've all gone. Ran away.
I quite like the afternoon on this lake, you know.
Yeah? We need a random button for time of day. Or a random option.
Yeah.
Random time of day and dynamic weather. And you're sorted.
What are your names? So this is Stephen and I'm Des.
Oh.
So, yeah. Hi Tommy. Hope you're good. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Got any questions? You got any feature suggestions? Anything you want to see in the game? Let me know. We'd love to hear it. Dean Martin wants telescopic pole fishing. One of my guys would also like pole fishing in the game. Again, there are so many things we want to add. It's a case of I've only got so many engineers, I've only got so many artists, and it's just a case of
There's a wish list basically like an old Yellow Pages.
they won't know what a Yellow Pages is.
Yeah, they will.
It doesn't exist anymore. They still waste time printing and that.
They're like the size of your notebook now. We got one at our house recently. I was like, who needs this now? We have the internet.
Yeah, that sounds very odd, David. Had you just purchased a new item in the shop or anything like that? Something strange seems to have happened. I'm thinking it's could be equipment based. I'm not sure.
Maybe my glasses were the source of power for this stream. I never wear my glasses when we stream, do I? That's why I never catch fish. So Darth Badger had the same question you had. It's still a thing, just much smaller now and much less necessary.
Megalodon V2. Megalodon 2. When the big cats strike back. Did you hear me talking about that on the Facebook site there? Big timer. Don't you from that little Facebook group I've been chatting on?
Yeah, I even know Yellow Page is still a thing because I saw one recently at my house.
You got another Pycon here, I think.
Yeah.
Had you already seen it? Sorry, I wasn't watching.
They chase everywhere.
Big timers following me everywhere. Shout out to anyone who's watching from the Facebook group. Post the links up there to the streams.
Big Time posts some. Don't know if it's that group in particular, but he's posted to Facebook groups before. We started a discussion about the Yellow Pages in our stream. Best thing about it now is it doesn't get wet because it fits through the letterbox.
Comes through the letterbox and it goes straight in the recycling box.
Pretty much.
This looks like a fatty, Steve.
Yes. One from Fat Cat on Steam. Can you make the guy real faster when catching a fish? Oh, that is Jay's Facebook group.
Ah, cool. Nice one.
That's why he knows all.
I see. Appreciate it. It's a good little community on there. So Fat Cat is asking me if we can make the guy real faster when catching a fish. So it's good to. I've been playing a version of the game with one of my engineers today, which is working on the update after next. So as I said before, we've got an update currently in QA and trying to get that into submission with Sony and Microsoft, which will fix some of a number of the multiplayer issues that people have been experiencing and reporting. How big was that? There we go, it's over there, £34. And so, but we're already working on the next update after that. And in this, we're looking to make a number of improvements to the reeling. Now, specifically, when you've got slack line on like if you're fighting a fish and the fish creates some slack, the reeling is going to kind of speed up at that point, so you can reel that slack in. So you don't, as long as you get back on the reeling quickly enough, you're going to put that tension back on the line and hopefully be losing less fish that way. Now, obviously you can't just, you know, if it's a heavy fish and it's not tied out, you're not just going to be reeling it in. So you do have to wear them down a bit.
A few questions up on YouTube. If I join someone else's multiplayer, oh, we got something bottom baits. That's why I can't invite other friends in a multiplayer session.
I agree, that would be nice. Nice to have Anarchy Reigns. I believe. Can they not? They can join you. If they see that you're online, they can join you. I'll not let you do the invite button. Yeah, so obviously I said we're going to, you know, we're sort of looking to fix some of the issues, some of the little annoying things, particularly when on some of the bass lakes where you get that glitching for the clients specifically. So that fix is done, and yeah, looking to get that submitted. But you know, in the future, when I've got some engineers spare, we are looking to do a larger sort of multiplayer overhaul. So I'll be interested in anybody's thoughts and ideas of what kind of new features you want in the multiplayer. Obviously, you know, lots of people ask for 2 people on a bass boat, but you know, specifically more maybe being able to kick off different tournaments during the middle of a session and stuff like that. So any sort of requests down that you know, in the multiplayer side of the game, would be interested to hear from you. Got so my game designers working on various game designs at the moment for future features, and that is one of them. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on that.
David said he hasn't played on it for a bit, so we might have the line issue. You change out your line in your tackle box and then try.
Are you playing on? Is your console? Obviously, your console's online, and you've got the latest update there, David. So if you go into the lake and you've got the default tackle box, it's not working for you. But if you select a different one, it is. Maybe try changing. If you go into your default tackle box, David, there was a line that had an issue. I believed that was fixed. So if you try going into your default tackle box and changing the lines that it's equipped on those 3 rods that are in there, that might make that default tackle box work again. But that should have been fixed in a previous update.
I think once we've reeled this one in, should we go on Williams? Talk a bit about the bass.
Yeah. Who wants to? I think Stephen's caught quite a few fish here, hasn't he? Quite a few beasts out of the Lake of the Beasts. Anyone want to see some bass fishing?
Actually goes onto the second page of the catch summary. Not often we get that. Not used to that in the marketing, in the publishing team.
We have been going for an hour and a half.
True. It's a very stubborn bream. It looks like. Is that bream or is it it looks a bit like both. That's common. bad.
Are we going to change venue?
Should we have a bit of a go on Williams, or should we stay on Bestie? We might change Peg if we're staying on Bestie.
I think we go. Do we change it up?
Yeah, let's do it. I have no idea what will be on my bass setup because I just set that tackle box up specifically for this, but oh wow, I've got a lot of points.
So Air Trigger's asking if we've thought about doing an Amazon River add-on. Yes, I would like an Amazon River. Rivers in general, I would really like. Amazon rivers are there has been talk of. I'm not sure how much I can say. I would like, obviously, I need to do an Amazon River. Not only do I need to create the venue, I would also, there's a whole new set of fish that come with that. So I wouldn't want to put it in there with, just a few fish. So we need to get those fish, like you say, the arapaima. Definitely is on my wish list. So yes, we want that. As with big catfish, I actually have a catfish underway at the moment, a new type of catfish, and it's not a European catfish, so I'll just leave that little teaser out there for you. Moby Dick isn't in the game, unfortunately.
It's really weird. All of David's default tackle boxes are having the same issue.
So if you create a brand new tackle box, David, does it work for you? It's bizarre. We don't have a Kentucky lake on the game. See you later, big timer.
Yeah, see you, Joe. Will we be adding more fish such as peacock bass?
I really like the peacock bass. They're cool. So someone was asking about the trolling motor. So yeah. Stephen's doing a little demonstration of the trolling motor now. Deployed it on his Basscat Pantera Classic.
Yes, need a wrap for it. So yeah, when you've got it deployed, so with PC, if you're using keyboard, it'll be Shift. Xbox, it's A. And PlayStation, it's X. You hold that button, and it highlights the little widget down the bottom left, and that shows that you're controlling the trolling motor. So up and down on the D-pad will do the speed of the trolling motor. So I'm going to set that at 2, and then left and right do the direction on it. And you've got the little yellow arrow that moves around to show kind of where you're heading. And just do it in a circle for a sec. Yeah.
And while you're in this mode, you can toggle the Fishfinder off, or to the map mode, or off completely. Ghost Rider. We're not. I don't think anyone's interested in the baby shark anymore. I think people got a bit done in with that. Although, so I hear, I managed to avoid any.
I was going to say, I'm surprised your kids didn't pick up on it.
No, yeah, I managed to avoid that. Mine are a bit older, so it's yeah.
Yeah, I was saying about a rear view mirror. We need one kind of so you can see where you're going if you're trolling while you've got the.
Yeah. or to be able to flick your head around. Someone, so Killer 373 is asking about lakes. So he wanted the Kentucky lake, and he wants to know if there's any real lakes in the game. So when we've got so there's two real lakes in the game on the European side. There's Gigantica, Manor Farm, and there's also a section of the Grand Union Canal. So while not a lake, it's a canal. But so those are all real world venues that we've recreated. When you're talking about the American lakes, the sort of, you know, the big named lakes that we would want to put in the game are just so big, you know, that they're too big to physically make and put in. So what we do is we sort of base our lakes on those lakes, and then we sort of base the fish in and the way it looks, the type of the species that are in there. So this is a Californian lake based kind of on Clear Lake, and yeah, so the fish that you get in here, the species that you'd find in there, and the sort of look and feel of the venue, and the big hill behind us. All sort of features around that area. Lake Boulder in the game is based on Lake Champlain, and then we've got Lake Johnson in the game is based on Lake Toho in Florida. So Boulder's up in upstate New York. Stephen's getting lazy with the old trolling. I'm not seeing a lot on the Fishfinder there, Stephen.
No.
I think we should go for a Bez. There's a little crew.
I noticed a thing that has gone back in, the boat not stopping on the point anymore.
You trying to spin? You spinning that round?
Yeah.
I actually like it down in the south of this venue, Scuba. I do like it amongst the reeds down there. There's little reed islands. That's my favourite spot on this lake. You can sometimes get shoals of fish in here. Glad you got it working there, David. Yeah, I guess you construct your own tackle box and then ignore those other ones. It gives you the option to delete.
I'll head into the south.
Alden wants Lake Erie. Good.
So many fish there.
It'll take you a while to get down. So you might be better with a respawn.
Oh, you mean like this bit?
Yeah. Ooh. So this is Lake Williams. This is a lake that we released 3 weeks ago. Was it the 18th? I think it might be the 18th. So yeah, this is available $8.99 on its own, or if you can buy it as part of the Quad Pass and get it that way. He's just driving past. Come on, Steve. We want to show the guys, the people, the viewers, a spotted bass. So spotted bass are specific to this venue. When we add new fish into the game, we base it on so. Although they're only available in this lake, it's because you don't actually sort of get them in our Lake Johnson or Lake Boulder, the ones that we base them on there. So that's why we've gone, that's why we haven't put the spotted bass in there. But you know, when I said before, I'm looking to add the muskie into the game. When we do that, I'm going to be looking to put those into the lakes that they exist in real life. So they will be available in the core lakes as well as any new lakes. Yes, we are playing on PC. It's just easier for the streaming across the multiple channels that Stephen likes to do. But he is using a controller to do it.
Although we now have kind of the Xbox over there that we want to set up at some point. And then we just need a PlayStation sorted.
Could you stream to YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, all from an Xbox?
It would run through the computer, through the capture card, and then...
Right. Yeah, maybe we could give that a go.
Something that I have wanted to do is just usually...
Hi, Jewel Tony. He's saying hello. Thought I'd say hello back.
Hello. Yeah, in the other office, sometimes I'd be in a bit of a rush to get the stream started, so I wouldn't have time to set up a console.
So yeah, Josh is asking about the bass jumping out of the water. I've mentioned it before that we're working on it. I've had a new build today that I was playing, and it's good fun. I think you're going to like it. So now, as well as the bass diving, they will also leap out of the water. So this I'm talking about an update to come in the future. It's not even gone into QA yet. I've been sat with the engineer, which we've got to balance the frequency of it. We've got to balance the effect that it has on the line tension, both when they dive and when they jump out of the water, because we want to make sure that fighting experience is as realistic as possible. It is cool. I'm hoping that maybe we can give you guys a little demo of it at some point in the future on a stream before it comes out. That would be fun. But it does, makes it makes the fight more interesting and fun. There's so many different things. He's got one. He's got it louder.
Poor strike.
Poor strike, and you had the rod. Yeah, the rod tip a bit higher. I think you need to lower that and get off the reeling. So when that comes in, Josh, they're not going to be jumping out of the water when they take the top waters. It's more during the fight. Making them hit the top waters harder is a different task on my task list. But we're looking to get that fight as exciting and as realistic as we can. Ooh. Come on, Stephen. Let's catch these bass. So have a little go?
Yeah, give it a go.
Come on then. What we got? Yeah, that could work.
Killer, we do have name brand lures in the game. Currently using a rattle trap. We've got the rattle trap and Bill Lewis brands. We've got missile baits. Nichols lures. Who am I forgetting? Or is that all of them for now?
So I'm going to try and do a bit of trolling down this channel here. See if we can tee something into taking my lure. There's a chance I'm going to drive into the bank. So you can't see where I'm going. It's encouraging. Over left.
Butcher told me, you seen that in single player or multiplayer? Well's catfish going up to half a ton almost. We'd need some big time gear for that in game, wouldn't we?
What even is that in pounds?
Pounds, I don't know. It's 500 kilos, isn't it? Is it?
So the soft plastics we have in the game are the missile baits soft plastics. In fact,
I thought you could say.
there we go. Got me bass fishing hat on. I'm not sponsored yet, you know, but maybe that's something to come in the future.
When we have our Sim World Esports League, we'll all be sponsored.
Come on, the fishies.
How do you understand how to read the Fishfinders? Do you want to explain that? Because I always butcher it when I explain it.
So basically, when you're looking at the Fishfinder, the bit right on the right hand side where it's got the 0 at the moment is underneath the boat. And then if you imagine that the width of that block of 0, that black block there, if you go one block to the left, that's like, well, where that fish was there, that was like half a second ago. And then another block to the left is a second ago. And then another block to the left is another half a second ago. So it's like a time lapse of what was previously under your boat. So it's the radar's sort of at the front of the boat, and it's sort of constantly pinging. So if you keep the boat still, you might see a fish go underneath it. So if you're driving along, and you're obviously travelling at a bit of speed, then if you've gone over some fish, they're going to be behind you. So you're going to you're going to want to just stop at if it's a line of fish, you might stop at the end of the line of fish, and then turn around and cast back from the way you came. But yeah, do always remember that if you've driven over them and they're showing on the Fishfinder, then they're going to be behind you. Hope that answers that question. Have you got any more questions about the Fishfinder there? Right, come on. Let's get some fish on. Where's that guy go?
I can't stop yawning at the moment. We're saying that 500 pounds-ish is half a ton. It's a big old catfish.
I think the character might have to get on the old weights to be lifting that one up.
That would definitely need a in the water catch shot. No Strike King. No Strike King. I can't remember if we were in talks with them, or we've tried to get them in. We've tried to get them in, but no luck with that so far.
If you're a big fan of Strike King and you follow them on the web, then on Twitter or something, get in touch with them. Tell them they should be in our game. It's not me that does the deals. I just make the game. Come on. So yeah, it's the Fishfinder detects under the boat. It comes down in a cone, so it will detect. It can detect sort of a little bit either side. It kind of throws a cone down and then detects where the fish are. So I've just gone over some fish there. So we'll see if one of those takes the bait. If this lure's not working, maybe we switch it up.
That door needs to calm down. Limited choice.
Yeah, so the right-hand side is effectively where the boat is. Or the boat sits on the top right-hand corner of the fish finder.
One second, guys.
You up?
Need to tab out a sec.
You need to tab out?
Yeah. Can't be having no swearing in our chats. Annoying. Dear. I just need to change something on this. Is that still working for you?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's good to hear, Bug. How you doing?
Oh. It's a crappie. Is it a crappie? Oh, dear. No.
It was a trophy.
The wind's picked up. Come on. What?
I covered the Steam window with the Stream Deck window.
You've done that, haven't you?
Kept his profile this time.
And I managed to keep the stop and go retrieve going. Oh, she clicked away from the screen.
Are we on overtime money or day rate? Yeah, it's just part of our work day.
Oh.
When is the next update plan trigger? We hopefully have news about that for you soon. We're submitting to Microsoft and Sony for certification. So it's just a wait and see on how that goes.
Yeah, so it's looking like there'll be one more update before Christmas, being the multiplayer update, and then the next update after that will be early in January, and that will include the bass jumping and some other nice little things in there as well. So there we go. I caught a bass.
Yes.
Not bad. Your personal best.
I think everything we've got has been a personal best today.
God, I was getting worried then. I thought we were going to run out of time and not catch a bass, but there we go. He's like the postman.
Always delivered.
See if we get another one. I still want to get spotted. Where's my spotted at?
Alden saying that Lake Erie would be a great addition. We would like to do kind of the real world American venues, but just the size of them makes it difficult to kind of get that in the game.
Maybe if there's a sort of little section of it that would work, we could look at that. Oh dear. Precious. It's a crappie. It's a crappie. It's a perch. I do like the perch.
Some mixies. I missed that before. I wonder at your upcoming update for other new boat rear trolling rods. Trolling rods can hang on boats near rear engine. Or on boats rear near engine.
Sorry, what was the question?
Having trolling rods on the boat.
Yeah, I've had a couple of requests for that. Now at the moment you have to, you just got the one rod and you can, and you have to troll that one behind you as you're driving along. But I can add it to the list. Oh, he's got the strike on. Have we got? He's got.
Oh, I missed that one on Steam. Fat Cat. What's the biggest bass pounding the game?
There's a 16 pounder. There's a few 16 pounders. Oh, he's got under me. He's causing trouble. This is a little one, is he? It's a little one. 4 pounder. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll be happy with that in real life. Tell you that.
More bass than I've caught this stream.
You didn't put your T-shirt on that I gave you.
Oh no, I don't think I even redeemed that one. I had to
There's
set things up.
fish. There's fish. There's some big fish swimming under me there. So you can tell also on that fish find. You see, there's fish of 2 different sizes. Obviously, that size is relative. So that that little one there is probably a crappie, but that one that was just gone past looked like a decent bass-sized one. And then I think there's another one size bigger than that. If you see those, it's possibly the big pike. This is another bass of some sort.
Lake Erie, there's a bay part of it. It's a decent size.
Is there?
Big catfish and walleye, bass, perch.
Have I got
crappie?
He's got one.
You got one.
Right on 6 o'clock, look at that. He's not very big. Spotted bass. So the spotted bass, as I said earlier, is currently exclusive to Lake Williams in this game. When we have more venues in the future, if spotted bass are found in the state that we add them, then they'll go into the lake. So yeah, we'll just keep adding the fishies in.
Let's do last kind of sweep of things. So the bay pot thing. Help me out here, guys, when we're losing the plot. Does bluegill look a little like a red-bellied piranha? I'd not thought of it that way.
The bluegill look cool. I think they're a good little fish.
I want to see mega fish because we got a £50 line now. That's a good point. We're not done adding fish to the game, so you might see big fish. Did we remove the sound of setting the hook, or is it a bug? That one of our audio engineers will be looking at.
Yeah, we had some reports of that, so we'll have to check that one out. Tiny the Legend, yes, this one is in the US. This is a lake in California. We've got a Florida lake. We've got a upstate New York lake as well. So 3 American venues so far. Today, if you look back at the start of the stream, we've got a Polish lake that is it's got a lot of big pike, a lot of big zander, a lot of big catfish in there, as well as some nice carp. And then there's about another five European venues in the core game.
Killer, are you asking how much the lake is, or how much?
The lake's £8.99. Quick.
Spend all my tackle points. No, I don't have as many as I used to. Hello, Frosty. You're joining us kind of at the end of the stream.
Just one more cast. I'm having too much fun.
Last cast. Famous words.
Do you have to make sure I get aim for the football?
It's Champions League.
It's a big night tonight, isn't it?
Ooh. What football teams do people support in chat? None of them will support the same team I support, I bet.
Or me.
Maybe not. What fish in the new lake? So 13 species. You've got your pike, zander, perch, 5 carps,
Didn't even believe it.
catfish, bream, tent,
Not happy
roach,
about that.
rudd. I think that's it.
Good memory, Stephen. I'm impressed.
Big Bug's an Arsenal fan. Some things you can't help.
Well, you don't choose your football team. I certainly inherited mine. Go on, you Hornets.
I inherited mine too.
So, Air Trigger's asking about when the other 2 are coming out. So
The other 2 is start of 2019.
So you'll have one in January and one in February, I believe.
Yes. Okay, Darth Badger, what's your favourite motorsport then? Ooh, River Ebro. That is on the wish list of future venues.
Killer's asking how much the core game is. Where are you, Killer? Are you US or are you Europe? England?
£29.99, £34.99 euros, and $39.99. I remember the numbers good.
And the game, as I said lots of times, it's just going to keep getting better and better because we keep adding features like my old trolley motor. I might go and yeah, let's do some reversing. Let's have some reversing fun with the trolley motor.
So yeah, Gil, that's $39.99 for you. Did you hear that? Formula One is your main thing. Yeah. Who's your favourite driver / team, or both? Like Erie, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake, Superior Lake. Oh, Michigan. Wait, I'm confused by that now.
Lake Superior.
That's Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Superior, Lake Ontario. So I'm just trying to place the lakes in the right places. We have a lot of venues and places we'd like to.
So the fourth venue is called Lake Arnold, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the Quad Pass, and that is up in Minnesota.
Yeah. That's that one. Is it in the game store on Xbox One? You will be able to find
It is
it.
in Minnesota, isn't it?
I'm trying to think.
It's not. I've got that wrong.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
it's down in Tennessee.
Are we looking at? We were looking at Minnesota originally for this one, and then it became Alabama, then Tennessee. This lake's moved around a lot, so.
Maybe there's a little spider in there. Have I crashed? Crashed into him. I saw one following it. He's eluded me. Right. Back over where my boat trails come from. There was a load there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Bug. We definitely added more, and I think you like what we've got coming. But we're also open to any suggestions you've got for it. Float fishing needs some love. Maybe changing depth and better float animation. Nice. On Dez's wish list.
It's going to get some love. Don't worry.
Butcher Tom, so buying the Quad Pass, there's no exclusive items as such, but you do get a saving over buying each lake individually. Richard, the Sony issue, yeah, I don't have my phone to be able to check the latest on that. But yeah, we'll hopefully be able to keep you informed on that and get a solution as soon as possible. Killers in Tennessee, nice.
Yeah, so you'll be pleased with Lake Arnold.
He's gonna buy the game, which I'd like to hear.
It's cool. Lake Arnold's looking cool, really nice actually. It's got feature of that lake is it's got like the submerged trees, like the standing timber in it. So that's yeah, it's cool.
Favourite current driver is Lewis Hamilton, McLaren Pro being favourite. I agree with both of those things. It's kind of sad to see McLaren struggle. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton's good. Good driver. Do you follow Formula One at all?
Not really. I catch it a little bit, but
I struggle to catch it just because it's on the Sky Channel
Mm.
NASCAR. Big Bugs NASCAR fan. Not really watched that much. Did we see Tiny's message? Love the new game, by the way. Eurofish one's fun, but this one's amazing. Thank you. Yes, we're happy with the progress we're making, and I think Des gets a bit. He'd like to be making even more progress.
Oh, come on! What was that? That wasn't.
Two bass.
There's some here, fishy. Yeah. Give me more programmers, more engineers, more artists. I'll keep adding features. The game's just going to get better and better. I keep saying it, but it is.
Is there a season pass? There is a quad lake pass. So you get the first 4 add-on lakes in one package. So we've had Lake Williams, which is what we're on now, was the first one to release. And Jezioro Bestii, which released today, is the second lake on it. So they're all kind of, there's variety in the lakes that will be in it. Kind of cater to everyone.
I want to catch some more of those fish. I can see them.
That's the worst. You can see them there and they're not biting.
Come on. We should do an entry in the league next time.
Yes. You won't be here next time.
Oh yeah, I'm on holiday next week. Oh, don't lose this one.
A big one.
So in the update, I mentioned earlier, I was playing an update that we've got coming in January with the bass jumping in it. As part of that, the changes we're making in that, it will be more. It's going to be less about having to adjust your drag whilst in the middle of a fight, and it'll be more about the way you move the rod tip and having the rod in the right position, and then the reeling at the right times, like starting and stopping reeling at the right times to allow the fish to take line out if it needs to, or to reel in the slack when the line goes slack. So I think it's a bit more realistic for the bass fishing to not have to be adjusting your drag during the fight. If anyone is struggling with the bass fight since the changes, my top tips would be to get yourself a heavier line. I'm fishing here with a £20 line. If you struggle with that, get yourself the £40 line or something like that, and it will make it a bit easier for you. But keep the drag relatively low to start with. I can play it on those lines with and not have to adjust the drag, just sort of letting off. But I would, if the line's gone slack, then do lift the rod tip up in the air to try and create that tension as much as possible. Obviously, as soon as it spikes up, you want to be letting go of the reeling, and then as soon as it starts dropping, you want to be back on the reeling, just to sort of, ideally sort of keep that tension in between the bottom and the top.
few points in the chat. Someone asked if you could get triple pass. You already bought Williams, unfortunately. No, and at that point I don't think he'd offer a saving over the remaining 3 lakes. Keep nets be nice to see a total catch from course fishing. I think that's on a wish list somewhere. Just wondering, but on Grand Union, how's getting perch while float fishing very rare? I'm more likely able to get trophy fishers to perch. And
Who's saying that?
Butcher Tom.
So has he tried that recently since the update last week? If you go with the maggots, or the sweet, or the bloodworm or stuff like that, you're gonna have less chance of getting the trophy fish now, and you'll have more chance of catching the perch. So do give that a go.
When do we close up for Christmas? So Des is off from Friday until the new year.
I did so much overtime over the summer making this game. I've got loads of holiday to take, so I had to take it before the end of the year. So yeah, Friday's my last day this week.
I will be the rest of the company. We're open till the 24th.
Got a small mouth. That's the bass hat trick.
So we're open till the 24th, and then we close till the 3rd of January. So next week, the 18th, will be our last stream of the year, and then we'll be back the 8th of January. Will be the first stream we do.
Yeah, I'm not back in the office till the 7th myself.
Feeling float needs a change. Yeah, we want to improve there.
I have the design. I have the. We're working on the UI changes to support that. And just before, we're going to have to sign off soon because I've got to get on the motorway.
We've gone over a bit.
We've gone over, but there are some other exciting changes coming up in the new year as well. With on the core side, we're going to be adding in a throw-in stick for to be able to lob your boilies about, and with that you'll be able to choose which bait you're putting in it. And so as part of that change, we're going to make it so that you can choose which bait is going in the spod rod as well. So for all you carp anglers out there,
sorry, reading Badger's comment.
That was a work week. That
was also in January, wasn't it?
That was yeah. I didn't get overtime for that. But yeah, you're going to be able to choose which bait goes in your spod rod. So if you're out there fishing with your banoffee boilies or whatever, and you want to be putting those in your spod rod and launching those out to sit with your baits on Gigantica, then you're going to be able to do that at some point early next year.
Why not add AI to the lakes when single player guys? That's a wish list item, isn't it? It's something we want to
It's a
look
tiddler.
What was
AI fisherman and AI, well, not AI, just some wildlife. Yeah, we would like some wildlife and AI anglers as well.
How easy would it be for someone to play that's never played a fishing game before or ever done any fishing? It's quite an accessible game.
Yeah.
We have tutorials to kind of explain it, and then you can put those concepts to practice. Kira said that's why it's called fishing, not catching, in response to something. I can't remember what that was. But yeah. Oh, the bass changes.
Yeah. Did we have any other comments on the bass changes?
No, not that I've seen.
I've seen some people saying it, like finding it too difficult. There was someone else found it difficult, didn't they? And then they got used to it.
Was that Philly Bass when he was there?
Yeah.
Change of spot baits, etc. will be awesome. Please add some ducks. Yes, we'd like to. Already got the sound.
I got the audio down.
What kind of rods and reels are you using? We're using a spinning rod at the moment. I think it's just one of the default ones. It's just not a licensed one. And a default reel, I believe. Welcome back, Freddie.
This game's too addictive. I'm supposed to be on the motorway and I'm still playing.
I've got to get a bus.
Right.
Okay.
That one. I want that one.
Makes it sound about having your fishing rods hanging off the back of the boat. We do want to kind of make use of the rear position for fishing at some point. So maybe that could be part of that.
Right. Last cast.
Yeah. 5th last cast.
So, I mean, hopefully you can tell I'm all ears for your suggestions, your requests, your ideas. Tell me what things are annoying you. Tell me what bugs you found. Get involved. Get in touch with us on the social media channels, or if you're in the Facebook groups. I do try and keep an eye on as much of those as possible, and yeah, I will do my best to keep making this game even better for you guys, and as well as keeping you up to date with new developments and stuff. So yeah, thanks for joining us on the stream. Looks like I've got another bass on here. Keeping that tension. Don't end it with a. Don't lose it, Des. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. See, I raised the rod tip then. I see it going up. I'm letting off the reeling. Drops back down and back on the reeling. Get the drag up if I need to at the moment. If it starts looking like it's spiking. Yeah, there we go. Like a boss. Oh, we end with another lovely little spotted bass. Look at that. Brilliant.
Very good.
Quite pleased with that.
So let's go to that one. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching today. Thanks for anyone who's followed, hosted. I'll be back next week, 4 o'clock Tuesday, UK time. I might have another guest, I might be on my own, who knows. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.